This is the truth. I was working with Corey's brother and I saw this poster and said, I want to go out with your sister. My name is Casey McClellan. I'm 40 years old and I was diagnosed with acromegaly in 2001. Sports has sort of always been what I've done. As an early infant, young kid, I always had a ball in my hand and started to naturally navigate toward team sports. And currently I referee college basketball and work for the Utah Summer Games. And so Corey and I were having a very normal newlywed life. We were looking to start a family and that wasn't working out how we'd hoped and we're having a lot of difficulty. That's when Corey, my wife, was in dental hygiene school and started to study acromegaly.
We were just briefly learning about different diseases, different things that affect the jaw. As my professor was going along saying all these symptoms, signs and symptoms of acromegaly, I was just thinking in my head, oh my word, my husband has every one of those.
My jaw was starting to change. I had a bite that the mouth guard that I used at night was no longer fitting, which I thought I'd bent it. And then my wedding ring was resized 2 different times.
So after when I went home, I said, Casey, I think you've got this disease, that you've got every symptom of this disease.
I thought she was nuts.
I did indeed make a doctor appointment for Casey to go get his blood work done.
But then when I went to my family doctor and told him Corey wants me to do my blood test for acromegaly, she wasn't crazy, she was spot on.
Then I just looked back and said, told you so.
So at 26 years old, the doctor basically diagnosed me with acromegaly. And he explained what the long-term diagnosis and treatment would be. I went from doing very little medication or none to being overwhelmed with, you're going to do multiple injections, medications to make you healthy. And in the beginning, to be quite honest, it was a little overwhelming. But now, 15 years later, 14 years later, it's routine. It's something that I've put into my daily routine, and quite frankly, it's something that I don't really think twice about. So I actually do 2 injections. One is a subcutaneous needle, and my kids are very much involved with the process, whether it be helping me mix the injection or the thing they really like to do is the alcohol swab, rub it on my leg, get ready for a little poke, and instead of being scared and worried about it, they've really embraced it. I also do a monthly injection that is a 18 gauge needle, and there's a lot of anxiety leading up to that injection. I'm really fortunate that I've got a great wife who has medical training, being a dental hygienist, who's able to help me with those injections, but I'm not going to lie to you, there's some anxiety leading up. Is this going to be the night where it hits the muscle funny? Is it going to bleed like crazy? With acromegaly, sports has taught me to be a fighter, and every day I get up and I'm excited that I get to have that day and compete, and acromegaly is not going to get me down. That's the athlete and who I am, I guess.